Hey everybody, welcome back to the couch. My name is Melissa and this is Couch Mom Club. 4 times a week I post some great videos about pregnancy, motherhood, and life itself. So if that gets you excited, go ahead and join the club. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you never miss an upload. Today I'm going to be continuing that 5 baby essential list. I've been doing this for a couple of videos now and I seem to be enjoying it, and so do you. So the last time I talked to you about 5 non-essential baby items that I thought were a complete waste of money. Now I'm going to tell you about 5 more non-essential items that I absolutely loved and absolutely used all the time. And I will probably use them again. Most of them. So here are 5 non-essential items that you do not have to feel pressure to buy if this is your first child, if you're having a second baby, whatever it is. These items are completely up to you. If you find them useful, go ahead and make the purchase, but they are not essential for you to raise your baby and for you to have a good and enjoyable motherhood. I'm gonna let you know that I'm doing this list not to tell you what to buy or give you a whole whack of things to think about, but there might be a mom out there that has an issue that one of these items might solve, and maybe you just don't know about it yet. So I'm gonna get right into the list and let you know about these items in case they might help you. If you find them useful, it might turn a non-essential, never used item into a non-essential, use every day, swear by it type of thing. Okay, so let's get right into it. So the first item on my list is the 4Moms Mamaroo. Now this is a swing that you put your baby in and it just rocks them. It's supposed to have a lifelike motion to it, the way it rocks the baby. And I found that this item, even though it's not an essential, it was absolutely useful for my second baby. My first baby did not like it at all. We almost never used it, but when Noelle was born, she lived in that thing for about the first maybe 3 or 4 months of her life. Now, the reason why I consider this a non-essential is because you don't need a swing or a chair or anything like that at all. However, even if you do want to buy one, you don't have to buy one that is this fancy or this expensive. Now, this was gifted to me, which I'm so grateful for my sister for getting that for us. But if it was up to me, and she knows this, I would have never spent the money on the 4Moms Mamaroo. I think it is very expensive. And of course, we bought it for the first baby who did not use it. So at the time, it seemed like a waste of money. But then baby number 2 came along and she used it all the time. So money well spent. Now we're having a third baby and hopefully the baby will like it, because then that pays for itself right there. But it's not essential. In order for you to enjoy motherhood and have your baby enjoy the space that you live in, a chair or a swing or any of those things are not absolutely needed. The second item on my list is the baby Brezza. Now, maybe that's not the way you say it. Maybe it's Brezza because it's 2 Z's and it's like pizza, Brezza. I don't know. I think it's baby Brezza. Who knows?
I say pizza, so.
Pizza. But the baby Brezza is basically a Keurig for formula. This thing is a lifesaver, but it's still a non-essential item. You do not need to purchase one. You don't need it to raise your babies. And even though it might provide a little bit of ease, it is not an essential item because, of course, if you are formula feeding your baby, you can just mix the formula yourself, which, I mean, I could have very well have done that, but I just didn't. I bought the baby Brezza to save me some time, save me some effort and energy, and put my heart at ease because sometimes you just don't know if you're mixing the right amount of formula with the right amount of water. And I didn't want to get into any of that crazy stuff because when you mix the formula wrong, you can cause a lot of harm to your baby. That thing is so cool. It actually does everything for you. It gets the right amount of formula, the right amount of water. It mixes it all up. It even warms the water to the right temperature. And then the bottle is just ready to serve. It's just amazing. This product I used only for my second baby and not for my first. So both babies were breastfed up until about 11 months. But because when Teo was born in the hospital, he dropped a few pounds and they gave him a little bit of formula feeding to supplement his diet and help him to gain a little bit of weight. What they gave me was a pre-mixed formula and I didn't have to do anything but shake it up a little bit, put a nipple on it and feed it to him. I continued that practice after he came off the breast, which was about 11 months, and I started formula feeding him until about he turned a year old, and that's when he had just regular cow's milk. So the reason why I continued with the pre-made formula is because I didn't trust myself to make the formula. And even though this was a very, very expensive option, I felt the most safe doing it that way. And it was something that he already was used to. Then comes Noel. And of course, with a second baby, life is a little bit more expensive, and I did not want to continue the pre-made formula with my second child, but I also didn't trust myself to make the formula. So I did a little research and I found that the baby Brezza was the perfect thing for us. Now, this was a non-essential item because I could have just learned how to mix the formula. I could have just done it myself, but I wanted to have this extra layer of security. So I bought the baby Brezza and I found that it was useful, even though it was just about a month or so that we used it. And maybe we'll use it for the third baby, maybe not. We still have it. But I found that even in that 1 month, it was pretty useful. Again, at 12 months, she went on to drinking milk, real cow's milk like Teo likes to call it, and it's been that way ever since. Another very useful thing about the baby Brezza is that you're able to make your bottles one-handed. Now, every mama will master most tasks with one hand because you always have a baby to juggle. But this baby Brezza just makes it so easy that all you have to do is grab a bottle from your cupboard, put it underneath the machine, and press a button. There you have your formula. So the third item goes hand in hand with the baby Brezza. It is the sanitizing machine that will sanitize and dry your bottles, your nipples, and any other plastic cups that you'd like to put in there. Now, we did make a mistake and put one of Teo's water bottles in that thing, and it became a very shrunken and small version of the cup that we originally put in there. So you have to be really, really careful of what cups you put in there. If they are not dishwasher friendly, then they are not the sanitizing station friendly either, because they will shrink them and ruin them, and then they will be no more. I think he just stopped asking for his Paw Patrol cup the other day. This machine that sanitizes and dries your bottles, your nipples, and all of that other good stuff is, for me, a lifesaver. However, it is still considered a non-essential. You can still hand wash or put your stuff in the washing machine. As I mentioned before in another video about the 10 essential items that are under $10 that can be found on Amazon, and I'll link that right here. That video will tell you about a little product called the dishwasher basket. This is where you could put all your little small items in it and put it in the dishwasher, and you don't lose anything, and it's great. However, if you want to go a step further and purchase the sanitizer, you can do that as well. But don't feel any pressure. It is a non-essential. I liked it because I only have the ability to wash my dishes by hand. We do not have a dishwasher. But for me, I wanted that extra layer of security, knowing that my bottles and my nipples and all of that stuff was sanitized properly and dried for me so that they would be ready for the next use. Now, if I had a dishwashing machine, maybe I wouldn't buy this station, but I bought it just because I felt that it was necessary for me to have, and it put my mind at ease. Item number 4 is the baby Shusher. Now, it sounds so ridiculous that you would purchase a baby Shusher, but what it actually is a white noise machine. Some babies just find it easier to be soothed, to be calmed, and just to kind of relax when you have white noise. Now, mom and dad can go shh all day long, but at some point you're gonna run out of breath, and sometimes it's just really, really annoying to carry that sound on. You can download a few apps, whatever you'd like to do this, and use an app from your phone or plug something in the radio. I don't know. There are different things that you can do that would take the place of a Shusher. But the Shusher is its own machine. You don't have to preoccupy your phone. You don't have to do anything extra. You just turn it on and it soothes the baby. The Shusher has been a lifesaver for us for our first child. And even though I used it all the time, I still consider it a non-essential. The last item is the VersaMe Starling Baby Word Tracker. Now that is a lot to say, and that's ironic because it literally tracks your words. So when Teo was born, I did my mat leave pretty well on a solo basis. Tim was working outside of the home, and I had this newborn baby, and my nature is not to talk a lot, especially in the morning. And I found that I was a little bit worried about the things that I was saying to him and if I was saying enough. I don't know why I felt this way, but I just felt like I could be saying more. I didn't know if he was hearing enough words, if we were interacting enough, and if he was, picking up on the different things that we would say to each other, because I knew very, very well that I'm not a morning person at all, and it usually takes me a little bit of time to warm up before I even started to speak. Now that I had this baby, I was thinking I needed to be more intentional about the words that I use and allowing him to hear language so that he can pick up language. Now, the people that created this Starling word tracker, they are very aware of the science behind the words that your baby hears. In fact, it is proven that the more words your baby hears, the more likely it is that that child will reach their full potential. So the more words you speak to your child, the better off they will be, because that's just the way it works. The more language you expose them to, the more words you expose them to, the better able they are to pick up on language, be able to speak, be able to communicate, and then be able to hit and reach all of their goals and all of their dreams until forevermore, right? So we want to talk to our babies. It is so important to talk to them. But in the beginning stages, I didn't know that I was talking enough. So this Starling thing is actually a word tracker, and I think it is brilliant. We got this Starling and we used it when he was around 8 months old, so I can track the words that I was saying to him. I believe that you're supposed to be saying around 1,400 words to your baby every single day, and we will surpass that, to my dismay. I thought that I wasn't talking enough. Maybe I was talking too much because I do talk a lot. So I don't know why I was so worried about that, but it was just something that was in the back of my mind. What if I wasn't speaking enough to him? What if he didn't know that I was communicating to him? Something just told me to check it out. And this awesome company came up with this tool that I was able to acquire and use it to track my words. Now, Teo talks probably just as much as I do. And now I don't have to worry. And of course, we used it only for him and not for Noel, because at that point I realized that we were saying just enough and they were picking up on language with no problems. So the Starling word tracker is a little device that you can pin to your baby. It is drill proof, it is waterproof, and it literally just tracks the words that you are saying to your child. Now, if you are reading to your child and if you are pointing things out to them and showing them different things, just throughout your day regularly, they are going to get enough language. But if you ever were concerned, if your baby was not hearing enough language, if you weren't communicating enough, the Starling tracker is an excellent device that you can use in order to figure out whether or not you were communicating enough words to your baby. Now, even hearing it sounds ridiculous. It's like, why would anybody spend money on that? But you never know. It might come in handy for a mom that had a concern like I did. You never know. Whoever finds this thing useful, now you know the information is out there. And the really, really beautiful thing about this thing is that it works in all languages. You just program it according to the language that you speak and go ahead and start talking to your baby. That is my list of non-essential items that I found completely useful, that really I just used all the time. I endorse them, but I'll say that it's not necessary for you to buy it. They do not add to your motherhood. They do not take away from your motherhood experience. They are completely non-essential and just on a case-by-case basis. You might need them, you might not. There you have it. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and until next time, here are some really cool Couch Mom Club videos for you to enjoy. And don't forget to join the club. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you never miss an upload. Follow me on all your favorite social media accounts, and don't forget to check out the merch. The links will be in the description right below your like button. And now it's time to get off the couch and into life.